Morning lads, Coach Treggs here, hope you're all doing great. So I wanted to do this video based on a few questions I had in the group yesterday. I put up some videos of me doing double kettlebell front squats, and a couple of lads were asking, you know, what's the benefit of doing them over barbell back squats or front squats? And it's a great question, and I'll give you my answer. So first off, not a lot of people are teaching a double kettlebell front squat. I did my kettlebell course probably about 8 years ago, and then I did my double kettlebell course about 4 years ago, and it really blew my mind being able to do double kettlebell stuff, like sort of replicating Olympic barbell stuff. So you've got your front squat, you can clean and press, you can thruster, which is a front squat to overhead press, you can do double kettlebell lunges, really tough moves. Now I've got nothing against a barbell back squat. Put it this way, guys, right? Everyone needs to squat, right? Whether that's a back squat, a front squat with a barbell, double kettlebell front squats, hack squats, which I love, by the way. Everyone should squat, okay? So the people that I work with are men over the age of 30, 40, 50, right? Most of those guys have mobility issues. They got tight pecs, their shoulders are not great, their shoulder health isn't great. And from my experience now of almost 10 years in the industry, if I get a client that comes to me with all those issues, whilst I need to fix those issues, initially if I put a barbell on his back, he's going to feel very uncomfortable. He might end up with a really wide, arms really wide, because his mobility is shocking, all right? So for me, how can I get that person squatting whilst working on their mobility and their shoulder health? How can I get them squatting straight away without any pressure going through the shoulder, through the chest, just making them feel uncomfortable? And that for me is a double kettlebell front squat. So hard for me to demo now because I'm on the phone, but if you see yesterday, when I've got those kettlebells in the rack phase, they're just sort of sitting there, okay? I don't need to have great mobility to squat those, okay? But I can still test a client, see what their strength is like by getting them into that position, okay? Now, first off, I love the barbell front squat. I think that is a fucking great exercise. However, again, a lot of pressure through the wrists. I know you could say man up and all that kind of thing, and that's great. I used to love doing barbell front squats. A couple of years ago, I trained for a white collar boxing event, which never happened in the end, but I did some training with Steve Robinson, and on the first session, I didn't wear any wrist supports, and I was just punching. Guys, I couldn't wipe my ass for about 3 days afterwards with my left hand. They were fucked. And ever since then, I should get it looked at really like my ganglion. But my wrists, right, if I'm in this position here, I find it very hard to front squat anything over 30 kilos, which is nothing, right? Because my wrists take a lot of the burden, and my wrists are fucked. Okay, now I'm not saying your wrists are fucked, but what I'm saying is, again, some people might not have the mobility to get into this position with the barbell. Some people, it might really fucking pull on their wrists. They just don't feel comfortable. So that's why the double kettlebell squat, for me, sorry guys, is an absolute winner, okay? So I get them to double clean the kettlebells and just sit here with the kettlebells sat nicely at the top of the chest with the elbows high. What you will find when you do a double kettlebell front squat is that it forces you to get into a nice deep squat. It also forces you to maintain a nice flat back, because if you tilt forward, guess what? Kettlebells are going to bring you forward, and you're going to end up on the floor eating kettlebells, and we don't want that. So I'm a massive fan of it because it forces you into a nice deep squat. It doesn't aggravate any bad shoulder health, or if you've got poor mobility around that area, and it allows me to basically see how much somebody can squat, but kind of safely. Now here's the best thing about it, right? Because we've got two pieces of metal rather than one barbell with plates on, they really start to try and pull you all over the place. So you've really got to keep that core engaged to drive those kettlebells up. Now, a lot of people will tell me that days after doing double kettlebell front squats, if they've gone heavy enough, they're really feeling it in their deep core muscles. And I actually remember with a client many years ago when I said to him, look, I've come off this kettlebell course. I want to introduce double kettlebells to the lads. What do you think? And he said, I don't know whether a full hour of double kettlebells at boot camp would go down well. But I introduced him to it personally, and he couldn't believe the effect it had on not only his legs, but also his core the next day. So guys, to conclude, if you have issues with shoulder health, mobility, tight chest, lats, and you don't like getting that barbell on your back simply because you don't feel comfortable with it, not because you feel the bar on your back, because we should all grow a set of balls to, you know, be able to feel weight on our back or some traps. And your wrists, really, you really struggle to get you into the rack phase here, and your wrists are under pressure, and you fancy trying something different, which takes away all those issues and allows you to squat and squat quite heavy, then I would recommend the double kettlebell front squat, guys. Yesterday, and I'm not trying to break any records, I did a little pyramid where I did 3 sets of 10 with 2 16s. That was easy enough. 3 sets of 8 with 2 20s. 3 sets of 24, yeah, for 6 reps. 3 sets of 28 for 4 reps, or 5 reps. And then I did 3 sets of 32s for 4 reps. And trust me, guys, I know about it today. So if you think about it, right, I had 64 kilos on a front squat. For me, I've always said this. When you double kettlebell front squat, okay, if you did it with the bar on that weight, it would feel lighter. So let me explain. A double kettlebell front squat with 2 32s yesterday, which was 64 kilos, that felt like 80 kilos would on a barbell. If I squatted 2 20s, which is 40 kilos, that would feel like 55, 60 kilos. It feels heavier for some reason, I don't know why, but it really encourages you to keep that chest up when you squat, because guess what? If you lean forward, you're getting pulled forward, okay? A lot of people you see squatting with a barbell and they sort of bow a bit and then they can just extend and drive back up. With the kettlebells, you start bowing and you're going over, okay? So I would encourage you to give the double kettlebell front squat a try. That doesn't mean I'm against the back squat. That doesn't mean I'm against the barbell front squat. They're all fucking brilliant exercises. But for me and the clientele that I work with, which I've explained, the double kettlebell squat is king. Give it a try, lads. Let me know how you get on. Keep trucking.